海賊王になる男だ。
What is going on, guys? It is your boy Cali Mac on the track. Never whack, bring it back, and we are back with Trash Sit Down episode 202.
Let's go.
Yes, I am here with the gang as per usual. You feel me? We got that boy Mr. G in the building. What is going on, brother?
What's good, everybody? Shout outs to Marvel Tokon for coming out this past weekend.
Real.
And also Spider-Man. Spider-Man Brand New Day. Great movie. But yeah, that's all I got. And also this chapter, yo.
Cool.
Shout out to you, Yoda. Yo, this chapter was OD, bro. Thank you.
WW. I ain't gonna lie. I'm used to the shout outs being longer. I wasn't ready for the quick shout out, but that's real though.
Yeah,
it's
no birthdays. It's no baby showers, bro.
No, we chilling right now. I might have forgotten something, but
It'd be like that. It'd be like that sometimes.
yeah.
All right. We got that boy Straw Hat Mod in the building. Of course, what's going on, brother?
What is good? What is good? Yeah, I didn't even put two and two together. That it's a nice little Marvel weekend. You know, Spider-Man, Marvel Tokon and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it's been a pretty good week for all that. But man, this One Piece chapter though, oh my freaking gosh, bro! Like,
Yeah,
no way.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's one of them ones. It's one of them ones for sure.
It is definitely one of the ones we have to talk about it. So let's get to it as soon as possible.
All right. And last but not least, that boy Wahus in the building. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, guys? Yeah, man, I'm very hyped for Tokon. I haven't seen Brand New Day yet. I'm catching up on all the Marvel stuff, but I will get there. But yeah, Tokon was hyped. We had a little session. We'll keep playing it for sure. But yeah, bro, this chapter, man, bro, let's get to it, bro.
Yeah, bro. It's one of those chapters where, like, your jaws just drop. Like, it's just one of those chapters, man. And
I felt something in this chapter that I haven't felt in a minute.
Yeah, bro. This is great, man. Let's get into it. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. I'm excited. I'm excited for this.
Let's do it.
Chapter 1190. Those whose death brings celebration. Another reader request cover. We don't care about that. We're here for the chapter. And what a chapter it was. We start this chapter off with a clash between the great king of the world, Gaban and Imu, and the pirate king's left wing, Scopper Gaban. Luffy's in the background, still pinned to the tree, and huffing and puffing and crying and bleeding out and being a little bit of a bitch. I'm not gonna lie, just a tad bit. But it's cool because he gets
two swords in his chest, man. I don't know, bro.
All right, maybe not. I'm just hyped. Gaban just hyped me later in the chapter, so that just might just be me talking about him. But Luffy is in a predicament right now. After the clash, the tree behind him gets cut around. He gets sent flying, still impaled by the tree trunk. I think when the tree lands, the swords dislodge.
Yeah.
And yeah, we see Luffy screaming out in pain as that happens. Imu goes for a swing, but Gaban dodges it. I want to say effortlessly, like he just straight out of there. And we get this really, really dope panel of Gaban above Imu, axes in hand. He says, "You're a hideous sight, like nothing of this mortal world." Imu asks, "Who art thou?" Gaban says, "One who knows the world," as he just falls down. Is this hockey or is this smoke lines here?
No, bro.
I couldn't tell. Look like smoke lines to me.
I don't know anymore.
Smoke lines, right? Okay. Because, like, I couldn't tell if he was just max aura farming here, just walking away from him oozing hockey, or...
Yeah, I think that's his landing little line, because, it came from the air.
Okay.
Oh, that's fair. I honestly, I did think it was, for some reason, I did think it was hockey, but, like, him, like, admitting, but...
That makes sense. You know what? I didn't even notice it either, but I thought he was just dodging the attack, but he's actually hanging from the tree with his axe. I didn't even notice it until just now.
I didn't notice it either. That's sick.
That's sick as fuck. This guy's so cool. This is the coldest guy on the island right now. I ain't gonna lie. Imu might be the strongest, but he's not way near as cold as this guy right now. Yeah. So Gaban walks away from Imu as he says what he says and walks towards Luffy, who is screaming and writhing and crying in pain. Gaban picks him up and says, "Hey, on your feet, Straw Hat Luffy." Picks him up by the collar, one-handed, holding both his other axes in one hand. This guy is badass. Luffy is hurting, crying out in pain, and Gaban continues, ignoring it. He says, "I'm disappointed in you. Aren't you ashamed of getting saved by an injured old man like me? Your white form, Emperor of the Sea, don't get full of yourself. As he's doing this, Luffy's just screaming, crying out in pain. Like, I couldn't even tell if he heard a word this guy even said. But he locks in here because at this point, Gaban says, "Do you want to die here?" Luffy says, "I'm not gonna die. Let go." Gaban says, "You were a dead man walking. It's pathetic. What happens next after you're dead?" And this is when Luffy really locks in. He realizes what happens when he dies. And we got this panel was sick too. This face Luffy makes here, this shit is like you can see the realization hit his face. That like it was really about to be over. And he realizes it himself. He says here, "I can't protect my friend's country." And then Gaban continues, "That's right. And what happens to the crew you've brought all this way?" He says, "Their lives are in danger." He says, "Correct. Now listen closely. On this sea, the higher you rise, the more enemies you have. The King of the Pirates is a title for those whose death brings celebration because everyone else wants to sit in that seat. If you're imagining you can be King of the Pirates with nothing but peace and sunshine and rainbows, save us all the trouble and go back home, you're not cut out for this. Now stay out of my way, brat," as he throws Luffy away from the action. This entire sequence was fucking badass, and this is exactly what the fuck I wanted. Granted, Oda did it in a different way. Like, we all wanted Luffy to lock in here, right? We've been saying this. He needs to lock in here. I thought that they were gonna have a fight, and maybe he'd overhear something that would make him realize something. But this is such a way better way to do it. Like, Gaban literally picks him up and tells him, "You need to lock the fuck in," and I just love the way he did it. Yeah.
Honestly, when's the last time someone looked at Luffy and said like give him a reality check? I want to say it's like Zoro on Punk Hazard.
Yeah.
Or like Jimmy's the big one. Jimmy's the big one
that did it like this. So like
yeah.
this.
But that was a while ago. You talking about Marine?
That was
right?
that was after Marineford.
After Marineford, right?
Yeah. So like 600, 700, like 600 chapters ago type shit. Like it's insane that we're at a really low point, and you know he's really talking to him. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, yeah. I absolutely love this sequence. Hats off to Oda. This was amazing. Very well done sequence. Yeah, so Gaban throws Luffy away. Luffy starts trash talking Gaban. Says, "That stupid old man talking all that trash about me, I'll show you." As he's sitting there breathing in pain. I don't know what he thought he was about to show him, but regardless, we cut back to Gaban, who is now in a full-fledged fight with Saint Nerona Imu. He goes and starts doing his spinning axe move, Mantis axe style. And I think, does Imu counter with a Mantis move of his own, or is this just him chaining his Mantis move?
I think you know how like Luffy says like gum gum or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I think there's a better example. Like Nitoryu, you know, and then he says the real attack or whatever.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Because like the it was over his head, so I didn't know, but that wouldn't be something Imu would do anyway. But regardless, Imu blocks the attacks. He says, "Is this a joke to you? A joke to thee? Whatever, man. You're not Shakespeare." Gaban says, Gaban says, "You want to kill him, don't you?" Imu says, "I do." He says, "Does he?" Huh?
Real quick. So apparently, when he said is a joke to thee, the Mantis is like a killer of like royal bugs or some shit like that. So he thought he was being cute by using the Mantis style against them.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. Cool perspective. Yeah. So Gaban continues. "Does he really remind you so much of Joy Boy?" The name drop of Joy Boy from Gaban, and Imu says, "Who art thou? Does thou recognize Mu?" As he brings out another weapon, Hon Bami Toshiro.
Now that another weapon has come out, I told Mr. this after the pod. You know, we're always like, "Oh, you know, is that it for the episode? Anyone has anything else to say?" And then we're like, "Oh no, we're good." And then remember something that we want to talk about. That happened to me last week. I had 5 Wikipedia tabs open about Imu's weapons, because they're all like legendary swords or weapons in like myths or religion and stuff like that. I think Mr. You said one about the Longinus was the weapon that stabbed Jesus in the side.
Yeah,
Um,
it's the spear that stabbed Jesus on the side. Yeah.
Whoa.
yeah, and the other ones are
didn't
similar.
recognize that.
Fragarok is like the sea god sword in I think Irish mythology, and then there was the Gram is the blade of Sigurd in Norse mythology, something like that. So there's always
Wow.
and this Honebami is like a real sword that existed by one of the famed sword forgers in Japan, and it was used by like the Ieyasu. What's the shogunate back then? Anyway, one of the shogunates. So yeah, like all these swords are like real mythical things in our world that Imu is using, which is kind of interesting. You know, it's about kings and gods. Very interesting stuff.
I love that shit when
Hmm.
Oda does that.
That's really cool.
So
Yeah, I didn't
good.
know. This is really dope. Yeah, whenever Oda incorporates that real life mythology into the One Piece world, it's always cool. Because he does his due diligence. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
something you have to do your due diligence to be able to weave into the story like that. Oda's
Yeah,
cool.
and like the way it's like all the the swords of the 19 kings have like this mythological aspects to them is very interesting.
Yeah,
Like he's tying those two things together.
definitely dope. Yeah, so he goes to attack Gaban with the Hon Bami Toshiro, and he says, "What does thou know?" And then Gaban says the words of Joy Boy, and then he says, "But don't get it twisted. We're not blindly obedient to some man from the past we've never met before. We just want to see our captain's dream brought to light." And then Imu asks, "Captain?" Luffy's still wreathing in pain. He says he's gonna get that old man for making fun of me. He'll get better. Just a moment is all I need. Calling out to his body, trying to summon some sort of willpower to get back in the fight. Imu asks, "Who is this captain?" And Gaban says, "The king of the pirates, Gol D. Roger." So when Gaban says, when Gaban says the words of Joy Boy, right? That's in relation to the One Piece, no?
Definitely.
Is that's information we were already privy to?
Not really. Like it's okay. You could definitely assume because of what Roger said. He said after they get the One Piece or they get to Laugh Tale, and Roger says after hearing whatever the story was, he says, "I wish Joy Boy I could have lived in your time." So I feel like you could assume that they heard from Joy Boy's like something of like a poneglyph or whatever what
Right.
happened, and so you
So
could
this is,
assume,
I guess this
is
yeah.
confirmation.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was asking. This is
Yeah.
confirmation that the One Piece has some sort of message or words from Joy Boy.
And I think also his lines here about his captain's dream. Obviously, we know that Roger and Luffy have the same dream,
Right.
but it's interesting that we hear it in relation to. He says, "We're not blindly obedient to some man from the past we've never met before. We just want to see our captain's dream brought to light." And it seems like something about Joy. I mean, we could have assumed this as well, but something about what Joy Boy wants, or bring the dawn to the world, or whatever. Like that's also in relation to Luffy and Joy Boy's dream or Roger's dream, which is interesting because they made it before they knew who Joy Boy was.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just an interesting thing for Gaban to say in that right after talking about Joy Boy.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
It made me come to not the realization, but think that the three dreams between the three of them is like inherited between the three. Like it keeps going on.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, I agree.
definitely, yeah.
I just wonder how they all came to it, or like at least these like Luffy and Roger came to it like kind of by their own
Accord,
merit.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Accord is a better word. But it's super interesting.
But
I
like-
also
Oh,
go ahead.
I also I agree with you guys to a certain extent, but I don't know if Joy Boy shares this. They might have similarities, but I don't know if they share the exact same dream or vision.
I agree with you. I completely agree with you.
Because
I wouldn't jump to the conclusion
because
that they're the same.
Gaban says it outright. He's not just following Joy Boy. He's following his captain, right? So like, if his captain and Joy Boy had the same exact dream, then would it really matter?
I think his point here though is saying to Imu like, we're not some missionaries of your boy from the past. We're doing this of our own accord. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Which
Yeah.
is why I think it's similar, at least in some
Okay.
sense. But I still agree with you. I wouldn't jump to the conclusion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
But what I was gonna say about the page right before this, like on the right side of the screen here, is that I kind of said it last week or when we read the chapter of last week that like Gaban is gonna chirp Imu about Joy Boy. He's gonna say something like, shout out to your boy, and make him mad. And he literally did this like right there.
Yeah.
It really reminds you so much of Joy Boy.
And Imu's a
Go ahead.
yapper. I was just saying Imu's a yapper.
Yeah.
So
I was also gonna say that like we know for a fact that their dreams are definitely different because we know that Roger and Luffy's dream are basically one and the same. And I feel like this right here just shows that like okay, what Joy Boy wants and what Roger wants, I think most likely different. But Joy Boy's realization is a stepping stone to Roger / Luffy's dream.
I can see that. I can see that. No, I can see that.
That makes
definitely
sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think it makes sense too because like I think the Luffy and Roger dream is like a secret Oda has been holding on to for like since the ASL flashback, right?
Yeah.
And the final saga starts 1060. He reminds us of Luffy's dream. Like the crew finally hears it for the first time, all together. And
themselves,
Luffy says, "That's what I want at the end of my dream. It's the last thing." I think Roger says it too. He's like, I'm gonna circumvent the whole world. I'm gonna get to Lafta, and then I'm gonna do X, Y, Z. So it seems like this is like a bigger thing that almost supersedes the One Piece in some sense. It reminds me of like when they heard Luffy's dream. I think Frankie says, "Well, we got to make it the king of the pirate first, then, right?" So it's like, why? You know, it's just I didn't realize how much of an interesting until we talked about it right now that like it's such a good, cool tidbit about this idea that Oda's been keeping secret. Fuck, man, I need more.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we slowly but surely getting there, man. We closer than we've ever been, for sure.
Sure.
Yeah. So Gaban lets Imu know he was part of Goldie Roger's pirate crew. This causes Imu to have a flashback of when he was first informed of Goldie Roger. He says, "This disgusts Mu. Why is the D on the king of the pirates? Hey, yo."
Hey. Still out there, big boo.
He says, "Spread not that name." And then he realizes that the very man who turned this into the era of piracy is who he's talking about right now. And then he says, "Why would the remnants of his crew protect Straw Hat Luffy?" And Gaban says, "Because you're going out of your way to eliminate him. Is that not proof enough? If even you see him as a threat." And then we get a quick cut to Roger saying someone will be born and eventually surpass us, and that they were just too early. Then Gaban continues, "You're basically telling us that this boy is the very man we've all been waiting for," as we cut to all these different parts of Goldie Roger's crew. Well, not necessarily his crew.
His crew and peers and stuff.
Crew and peers.
People that,
well, I mean,
that stand
it is all his
side
crew.
by side him.
It is all his crew, but Whitebeard.
Oh,
right?
the Whitebeard.
Yeah, except the Whitebeard. Yeah. But yeah.
You know, it's funny. I always look at Odin as like Whitebeard's crew first, so it just stays in my mind like that. But yeah, I feel what you're saying.
Yeah. Definitely a dope panel. So now there's been a lot of just dope panels in this.
And Whitebeard there too is like, well, first I'm glad Crocus is there. Shout out to Crocus. I'm glad Oda put him in there.
Go.
Facts. And Whitebeard there is like because Roger told him what like the D means and all that stuff. And Whitebeard was the one to say like the One Piece is real. He said teach you not the man Roger's waiting for. So Loki to him it's also, you know, I'm glad he's part of it. He definitely is also in this like, you know, looking for who's next type shit.
Yeah. And also he did order his crew to make sure Luffy was saved after Ace was killed too.
Facts.
Yeah. You know, and stayed behind because he could have just bounced if he really wanted to. Like after Ace got wrecked, he could have been, "Yo, we out, bro." Like, you know, but he stayed behind, sacrificed himself, and got Luffy out. Made sure that Luffy got out. So, you know, paying it forward to the next generation.
How do you guys feel about some people complaining that they don't want to fall into the chosen one type? Do you feel that this panel kind of edges more towards that he's the chosen one direction?
Yeah, I mean, we all know that. Like, we all found out once we found out that Joy Boy's devil fruit is Luffy's devil fruit. Once we found that out, I feel like
it was inevitable.
It's kind of inevitable at that point that the chosen one shtick is going to be more prevalent here, and I guess thematically that's kind of always been the case. Especially when we find out like later on, like the fruits choose its wielders type thing, and all that other stuff. Like the story has always presented this, I think, just very subtle. I think because of the subtlety, people either glanced over it or ignored that idea entirely. But now that it's more on the forefront, now people have a problem with it. But like I said, if you always looked at the thematics of the story, it's always been there.
Mhm.
Like,
I think.
and
Go ahead. I don't want to cut you off, please.
oh, my fault. I was just gonna say, and then on top of that, I think the fact that that we've been dealing with the same issues in terms of like the story, the lore, has been 800 years. So 800 years have come and went of different people that's supposed to quote unquote take up the mantle, and they all have failed one way or the other, whether they died too early or for whatever reason. So but the fact that all those people that were prophesized to potentially be the one, whether it's Zebek, Roger, Ace, whoever had the will of D, they all technically failed. And the thing is that Luffy could have been one of the ones that failed too. He just so happened to be the right one in terms of circumstances and stuff like that. And that's what I think matters the most. That people confuse that, being the chosen one means you can't perish early or something like that. You very much can. We've been reinforced throughout this whole time in this story that being on the Grand Line is not a big deal. And not a big deal, but it's a big deal, and it's not a cakewalk. And many people died too early and all that other stuff. Ace technically was the chosen one, technically, in the sense of the story and stuff like that, because he was Roger's son. He was super strong. He was stronger than Luffy. If he was alive today, he would be stronger than Luffy. And he was being bred by Whitebeard. That's more chosen one than anybody, in my opinion. And he died early. So I think the story is reinforcing that you could be the quote unquote chosen one, but you're also one slip up or you're one mishap away from being basically a fallen chosen one. I'll call it that, a fallen chosen one.
A false one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bro, that was really well put together.
Yeah.
Like, from start to finish. That was really good. And I definitely agree. And I'm glad you brought up Ace as an example. That's the perfect example of someone who should be. And to me, I think of like 50 years ago, Rocks, right? If two things were different about Rocks, Imu wouldn't be alive today, right? Like if Harold, wanted to work with him instead of capitulate to Imu, through manipulation. If he didn't go back to God Valley to save his family, he wouldn't have died. All these things are just the smallest, like you said, the smallest slip up to where you're done. And I do think there's an idea of like, and shout out to JJK, because I always thought this line was interesting, but I never really understood it. But is this line where Geto says to Gojo, "Are you the strongest because you're Gojo, or are you Gojo because you're the strongest?" I think of Luffy. Is Luffy the chosen one because he's the chosen one in Destiny, or is he the chosen one because he's Luffy? Because he's the kind of person that people want to rally behind. Like what did Mihawk say? That's his strongest thing, is that he makes people want to stand behind him. Mm-hmm. So I do think there's an element of like Mod said, it's been 800 years. How many people can fail before someone succeeds, right?
Exactly.
And like the whole thing about this series, one of the biggest things it's saying is that change is inevitable. You're never gonna stay on top forever. So someone theoretically has to overpower Imu at some point, right? But I do think an interesting thing about this idea and topic is that Luffy's whole thing is freedom, right? He tells Imu at the start of this battle, "I'm not Joy Boy, I'm Luffy." He tells Kaido the same thing. So that juxtaposition is going to be interesting for Oda to navigate. How is he gonna show us that Luffy's Luffy, and not Joy Boy, but still Joy Boy at the same time,
Yeah.
It's going to be when we get to the end. That's when we find out. When we find out more about Joy Boy, we will find out the similarities and the contrasts of Luffy. Because like I said,
funny because the dream topic we just had was probably that idea, right? How like I'm not Joy, but I have my
Yeah.
own dream to do, you know,
Right,
after being King of
exactly.
the Pirates.
Yeah, and then on top of that, like me and you said, like there's been so many people who kept the surname of D in their name, which theoretically all those people are like quote unquote chosen ones in a way because they contribute to the greater end goal of dethroning Emu, saving the world, or reshaping the world. I don't want to sit here and quote unquote say save the world too, because like Vegapunk made it clear that he doesn't know who the bad guy is, and I'm pretty sure Oda put that there intentionally. We know he's quote unquote the bad guy, but we might get a little bit of a sympathetic, as a little bit of a sympathetic story to like why it is the way it is. But regardless, the point is that like so many people have failed before Luffy. So it was about, because we're reading it from the perspective of Luffy, he's going to feel like the chosen one to us. But if you were like, let's say a cosmic observer of the whole entire One Piece storyline, you could follow all their stories. It may not look
be
like
in that spot. Then I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, that makes me realize too that as long as Oda continues to follow the core theme of this story, which to me is inherited will, then I don't think Luffy could ever necessarily be, even if the chosen. Though I'm trying to articulate what I'm trying to say. The chosen one in bad context is somebody who was nobody or whatever, and just through happenstance happens to become, or just happens to be the one destined for whatever they're destined to be. This wasn't necessarily happenstance because of inherited will, right? Because we know
Exactly.
this has been passed down from generation to generation for whoever knows how long. We don't have the full story yet, but yeah, I think if as long as Oda stays true to that core theme, I think even this panel right here, them saying that he's the man that they've been waiting for, because of Roger, it's not necessarily, and Gaban says it too. It's not because of some grand prophecy from a man from 800 years ago. It's the will of their captain being passed from them, being passed to Luffy.
And if you look at this panel, the panel of who they're showing as well, these are all people, well, it's with the exception of Odin, most of these people have all like contributed one way or the other for Luffy's progression. Like,
well,
that's
I mean,
straight up.
Odin contributed with Momo. That's where.
Oh well,
Yeah,
yeah.
indirectly, for
Oh
sure.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
There you
really-
go. That's
they all-
indirect. But yeah, absolutely. Everybody here contributed to the large, pyramid to getting Luffy to the top by adding their stones.
Mhm.
You know,
Through his
and
development, yeah, bro. It's
yeah. So to me, that's not a chosen one. Chosen one, like you said, Callie, in bad context, is going to be, oh, I'm him. No, like no one contributed to my success. Here I go. Like, that. But everybody here shaped the destiny of Luffy, and everybody here contributed to the destiny of Emu's downfall. And I felt like the D clan members. Oh no! I was gonna say, and I think the D clan members and everybody in that 800-year path have all contributed to some way or shape or form. But yeah,
100% agree. And I just want to say, like, my first point is going to be a little petty, but I remember in Wano, chapter 1036, the world government is like, there's this fruit that we changed the name of 900 years ago. People are like, yo, it's Tama's fruit. My nigga, it's a Luffy. It was going to be Luffy the whole time. Since we read the poneglyph about Joey Boy's promise in Fishman Island, right? Luffy's the one telling them, like, yeah, I'll bring you to the surface one day. I'll show you the sun. Like, use some context clues is what I'm trying to say. Is my first point. It's not new or anything. Because the people saying like, oh man, this chosen one stuff is out of nowhere. Like, bro, it's been a thing, sadly. Or not sadly, like it's been a thing in your face if you just read it. But that's my first petty point. My second point is that, man, fuck all that shit, bro. Look at this beautiful panel of characters we fucking love. We've been reading I've been reading this shit my whole life at this point, honestly. And like I read this panel, and like just to be a little bit honest, I've been going through it a little bit, in my personal life, just in terms of like how I feel and stuff. But and even reading One Piece is the greatest time of all time. Being on this pod is so great. But reading every chapter, like life's going on, and it's like, oh, it's a great chapter. Let me move on. But I read this chapter and I felt some shit I felt I haven't felt about One Piece in like legitimately like so long. I was like, holy shit, this is what I read this for. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think people are worrying about the wrong things, bro. Look at this amazing panel. Look at this fucking beautiful shit about characters we care about. So
That's real shit.
that's what I'd say.
Very well said. Very well said indeed.
100%, bro.
All right. Back to the action or lack of action because Luffy's still leading out. Imu recognizes what Gaban says and says, "Indeed, we may have been foolish. Perhaps we have mistaken numerous mere coincidences for destiny. Let's end that now." As he puts I was about to say homie, fuck, black flame guy on Luffy's chest.
Omen, right?
Omen, yeah,
Omen?
there we go. Yeah, Omen, Mark flame guy on Luffy's chest. We know that leads to whatever his homing attack is, where his flame shoots towards the wherever the Omen is. Gaban says, "No, you idiot! Wait!" as he springs into action immediately. He says, "Sorry about this one, Jewel Tree Adam. It wasn't my intent to eat you." Then he says, "Ow," as he starts charging up his attack. He says, "Damn, these creaky joints. It sucks getting old." Luffy's starting to get up now. He says, "Old jerk. I don't care if he's friends with Rayleigh." Starting to get his up a little bit. Imu goes to start his attack. He says, "Stig," and then Gaban unleashes his attack. Gate of God. Slices the tree trunk. Slices the trunk up. Slices the tree up. This attack is crazy. This
we got to talk about it, yeah.
Yeah, so this is his Haki in physical form, like striking Imu here, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like holding him there kind of thing while he's doing his physical attacks, which is crazy.
I think this is the first time we've seen Haki, because don't get me wrong, we've seen Shanks do some things on the same line in terms of like damaging area around him through his physical exertion of Haki, and then we also saw Shanks do that Wi-Fi Haki like projection thing. This is turning it like truly physical as a projectile, like like we had never seen that before. Holy shit! Like raw Haki as a straight up like Haki like a beam.
Haki
I don't want to
beam.
say beam.
Haki blast.
Like Haki blast. Like basically, like holy.
Not to mention,
shit.
I'm pretty sure it's the Haki that cut the tree too, right? He didn't
Yeah,
throw any slash attacks.
You could see it in the panels. Even the Haki closest to us is cutting the tree right in front of us. Like all those, each lightning is literally slicing through the tree, which is
because people say like, oh, like maybe we just can't see his axe slash, but bro, like the cuts are where the Haki like lightning is.
Yeah.
Like clearly the lightning is being blocked by Imu's Omen shield,
Right.
and like you said, Mr. coming down to cut the tree, right? Like it looks like this is some sort of advanced Haki that we haven't seen other than Shanks, it seems.
Right.
Anytime we've ever seen Haki, like it would just like explode a little bit, like here and there, like psh, like. But this is like the first time like you see like even that Haki is like being used. It's like slicing through shit. Like that's what his attack does. But that shit's wild.
Yeah, Haki's always been a visual indicator. We have been talking for weeks though about how they're going to need a new form of Haki. So does this have anything to do, you guys think, with the Haki that Roger and Garp used against turned rocks?
Odin and
I think so. I think it's probably like an application of it.
Remember how they said they had to do an all-out Haki attack in order to
like a critical mass type of thing, like using like their.
Yeah. Do we think that
maybe,
may have something a link with this?
I think so.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's the same setup in Wano when they used Advanced Conqueror's Haki, and then we saw Luffy learn it like later from Kaido.
Right.
Yeah.
Oda's so good if that's the case, man. Guys are fucking. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is an insane feat though. Huh?
No, just like how you just brought it up though. That was the only way that they were able to beat a Domi reverse seed rocks, you know, and they had so I wouldn't be surprised if that application is being used right now. Like not to that extent, because obviously they were not able to attack afterwards, but definitely,
Yeah, there might be some type of connection between.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, definitely a crazy attack though. Gaban, this might be the coolest Gaban chapter. This is the coolest.
yeah.
Or
I
bar
mean,
none.
I still got Mountain Eater, but you know, this is pretty up there.
That's understandable. So this is kind of hard to see, but this is Gaban Imu standing on one of the broken tree trunks. And
Yeah, it's like coming
Gaban,
down.
yeah, coming down, and Gaban still flying above him. I guess releasing Haki. It looks like maybe Imu's releasing Haki of his own now here.
Either it's some
It's
type
hard
of
to tell.
shield, or it's some type of barrier or something.
There's a lot of Haki in the vicinity in this panel. We say Imu will continue. He says, still the Pirate King's crew, even decrepit. It is starting to take a toll on Gaban. He's huffing and puffing. Imu says, thou art so determined to believe. Or to believe, he's asking. And we get a clash of attacks with Gaban, I believe Gaban hitting Yachi Takeru and Imu hitting Honi.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what either of these attacks are, but we just see a whole bunch of slashes going across the page. And we also see one of Imu's little snake things hits Gaban as he's throwing these slashes at Imu.
Yes.
I did not notice that my first time reading it.
Damn.
I was like, look at this big ass fucking sword attack by Gaban.
Yeah.
So
no,
didn't they say that this sword is like a bone eater or something like that? Like
Yeah, that's literally what it means, Honebami.
yeah. So damn, I didn't even see that before. That's a great pickup, Callie.
Yeah.
So something I did see on Twitter, they were saying that this attack that Gaban is doing is like it's like 8,000 times the version that he used against Luffy and Zoro when they first met in the cave.
That's so cool.
In the castle, yeah. So like,
yeah,
it's like the EX version of it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Literally.
This is definitely his max strength attack for sure. This is full power.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So they do that. Imu has to block all the attacks. As Gaban yells, like you aren't. By the way, Imu said earlier. As this is happening, we see the trees falling down from the sun world where they're at into the underworld. I saw a tweet that I liked that it's always nice to be reminded on this arc specifically of the scale and magnitude of the battles going on here, because a lot of times it's hard to necessarily keep track of it because of perspective. But the panels like this are cool just to remember that everything is fucking huge.
It reminds me like when we read the shout out to Mister when Gaban first tests Luffy and Zoro, like one of his slashes breaks the top of one of the castle pillars off, right? And then we're like, yo, that was huge. Like that was kind of a crazy feat for just one slash, right?
Yeah.
And then nigga cut a branch of the fucking Adam tree where giants live, right? Someone showed a comparison. I think maybe it's what you're talking about, Callie, with Ripley standing on one of them from afar, and she's like a blip on the branch. Like this is a crazy thing to do.
Yeah.
In terms of like just a feat of strength and how much damage he just did, right? It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, there are very few people in the One Piece world that would have.
And also his size too. Like he's just a regular, like normal human.
Yeah.
Compared to everyone else. Like
this is absolutely crazy feat. He has carved up a giant tree. We see it falling into the underworld. Back in the sun world, we see everybody reacting to the sounds and the noise, and I'm assuming the Haki too. One of them says, "What was that?" Nami says, "Was that Luffy?" And then Usopp says, "No, it's not." Someone says, "There's someone else up there. Someone devastatingly strong." And
I imagine Usopp was continuing his line.
Huh?
I imagine Usopp was just continuing his line.
Okay, yeah, that would make sense.
Someone says, I think it's
it's just I couldn't tell, but that would make the most sense.
Not fair.
Yeah, so he says there's someone else up there, someone devastatingly strong, and as we hear Usopp make proclaims of this great force that he has just felt, we cut to this great force laid out on the ground, arm missing, Luffy reacting, saying "old man" to end the chapter.
Bum.
That juxtaposition threw me completely on my ass when I read this shit. Because it's literally Usopp genuinely saying someone is devastatingly strong. I'm like, oh yeah, he just put the work in on Imu, and then and then we cut to this shit. I'm like, no fucking way, bro.
Not like
Absolutely
this.
insane, man.
I told y'all, man. That's the boy Gaban. Don't underestimate the left wing, bro. Like
He might have to be the right wing after this, but
Oh,
Yo, we might
no,
gotta talk, bro. We
no.
might gotta talk, bro. We might
Left,
gotta
left,
talk.
left,
No.
left wing clip, son.
Oh,
Left wing
shit.
clip.
Oh no, not no, no. Did we? This I think this is the first time in One Piece history where a left wing is perceived stronger than the right wing.
That's some shit.
Yo, Sanji upscale.
Sanji
Oh
upscale.
no! Oh, Sanji fans are gonna love this.
No, 100%, man.
Oh shit!
Absolutely insane way to end the chapter. Bond did all he could, but unfortunately, that is still king of the world. What I will say though is I do think that at the very least, if Imu leaves within the next few chapters, is because of this interaction. I think that he may have possibly pushed Imu's time limit with this if he did nothing else.
Yeah, definitely. He overexerted himself, and now this is he definitely you're definitely right about that, Callie.
I will say, for the first time, I think since he came here, right after Gaban does his praying mantis attack, they start scrapping a little bit. Imu starts coughing too. When he asks him who a captain, he starts cough. So it seems like it was already starting, and then he's pushing him like this, like he's bleeding from his face. You know, he had to block the attack, stuff like that. And we don't even know what happened. You know, at the end of this, we don't know if Imu's damaged at all. You know what I mean?
True.
So yeah, like I agree with you, Callie. This definitely bought them some time, or the opposite, shaved some time off Imu for sure. And Luffy looks a little better. He's talking in full sentences.
Yeah.
He's not coughing his heart out. Maybe he somehow willed Gear 5 to heal himself. So it seems like he gave Luffy time to get back up. You know, give another shot with what he saw just now.
What he saw, what he knows. I have a very bold prediction here. I think that this is the last L that we see Luffy take the rest of the series.
I thought about that in this chapter, so I agree with you.
I can definitely see this being the last real L Luffy. Like, obviously, every fight isn't going to be a piece of cake, and there might be some setbacks, but I think this is going to be the genuine last real L that we see Luffy. Because from this point, he knows he has to lock in.
He can't. Yeah, you can't afford it.
Yeah, I think at this point he has to make that realization, and I think he will.
I like that. No, that's a good one.
Do we think that when the next time we see Luffy fight, basically though we're going to see a completely different like subset of like how he's fighting, or do we still think that he's still going to do the joke type fighting? You know,
I think it'll still be joke type fighting. I just think his demeanors might be a little different, a little bit more serious.
Yeah, I think he'll. Yeah, I agree. I think the difference will be that he'll know when he needs to get serious and use his full force, whatever that may be.
I wonder also as well, like I wonder if his perception of like what the strongest looks like is change. Like if he's been humbled a little bit, because he came into this saying, I don't feel like anyone could beat me, and then he said like, he told even word straight up, he's like, oh, you think I didn't learn from watching Loki lose, and then did the genie thing to no effect, right? So yeah, I wonder if also he'll come into this fight a little more humble, like let me see what I can do, instead of thinking like I'm unbeatable. And again, Luffy took like a few fight chapters with Kaido to learn advanced conquer Saki, right? So I do think he could also use this hockey quicker than he might actually use it in this fight. You know what I mean, or like a a light version of it or whatever.
I think definitely like the start of using it and then help get Imu off. Well, I think what like think Gaban, not that he dies yet, but he's definitely going to be like unconscious or whatever, and like everyone's gonna feel that his hockey is like no longer up there, right? So I feel like that's gonna like set Zoro and Sanji off. Luffy's there already seeing it, so then now like the three of them are gonna like, now we gotta fucking like really lock in, and then you get Zoro, Sanji taking care of their holy knights, like their battles, and I'm still on the fact that because they're all connected to Imu, those guys are out. Imu is weakened. Luffy gets an attack off, and then that just sends Imu back, or some shit like that.
Yeah, I'm on that train of thought too, honestly. Now that I think about it, because I can definitely just on some meta shit, I can see that being Oda's. That's an Oda-like sequence. We get to the climax of this fight, but before we finish it, we cut to finish Zoro's fight and finish Sanji's fight, and then we come back to the last round between Luffy and Imu.
Yeah, that's definitely his MO is like clear everything out before Luffy ISOs, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's literally what it is. Like y'all get your points, you got your shots up, and then Luffy fourth quarter, right? But I do agree with you, Mister. That was a great point you brought up last week about like how their fights might influence this one. I'm always like, even though I think if Imu cooks Luffy here, only has to leave because of his time limit. Like like right before his time limit goes off, it looks like he's gonna lose again. And then and then Imu disappears. That is a possibility for sure. But I'm always like, I wonder how much Oda is willing to let the shots lose or go out sad a little bit. I think I brought this up last week or whatever. So yeah, with this chapter, I think Luffy might actually drive Imu out in some sense, get like a dub, like how Kid and Law did against Big Mom. Get like a ring out type dub, rather than like a I just beat you fair and square type dub.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, you're trying to like you're gonna lose, but you're trying to have a moment. Like,
Yeah.
I need a moment. I need a moment to get me to the next.
And the time
anniversary.
limit is a win condition, right? Like other
Yeah.
games, right? Like Fire Emblem, you don't have to always kill every opponent, right?
Right.
There's other sort of win conditions. So yeah, like if he comes back, he definitely has to also have a better showing than last time. That's just the One Piece, formula, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
I wanted to shout out Gaban for the start of his fight against Imu. He pulls up, he saves Luffy, and then he turns back to the King of the World. That is so tough.
That is tough.
That's
Just
why
walks away from him.
That's why I said I thought he was exuding hockey as he was doing that shit. Like, this guy is just Ori incarnate. Like, holy shit. Gaban is 100% the MVP of this chapter for sure.
Oh yeah.
Definitely an amazing chapter. Gaban showed out. Definitely. We got to see what Luffy does next, man. It's really literally all on Luffy now. There's no one else that's gonna come and save his ass. Like,
yeah,
no, he got it.
That's what he was telling him.
Yeah, it's all on Luffy now. No one else. I do. What?
You go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick. I do want to say that we talked about it last episode, but I genuinely expected him to fall out of Gear 5 by now. The fact that he still maintained it through all of that pain and shit, and still to the end of this chapter, definitely shows the ability, I guess, and his ability to maintain. That was it, though. What were you gonna say, Wahus?
I definitely agree with that. I actually because we talked about it last week. I was wondering if have we seen him just get his ass beat and then lose Gear 5 that way? But I went back and looked, and the Kaido one is a little ambiguous because Luffy talks about how he's like, oh yeah, I died before this. It seems like that was just his tiredness, right? And again, I do think I wonder if it's just his time limit has gone up, just from being, how much he fueled up before, all that stuff. But I did want to talk about this exact page. I'm glad you're on it. Gaban says to even just the Gaban, still the Pirates King crew, even decrepit or as old as you are. And he says to him, you're so determined to believe.
Right.
A question mark about, and so I was talking about the page before where, this is the man we've been waiting for. And in the next page, if you could turn to it, Callie, Gaban responds to that saying and you aren't. And when I first read this chapter, I thought, okay, what did Imu say to him? He said, you may be old, but you're still a Pirate King's crewmate, right? That's why you're so strong. And I thought Gaban was responding to him for a 900-year-old being, you're pretty strong yourself.
That's
kind of
how
tongue in
I
cheek.
interpreted it too.
Yeah.
And then my brain went super left.
Oh no, I went left. Yeah, I know where you're going.
Okay, maybe we went the same direction too. I was like, is he saying you were the equivalent of the Pirate King's crewmate 900 years ago?
Yeah, I more and more I'm trying to believe it, and I believe that Imu was the first. Like whenever they talk about betrayals between pirates, I think Imu is the example. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like the first one to have done it, and that's where that started off. But
Wait, y'all are
uh,
confusing me. I took it. I thought y'all were going in a different direction. I can't lie.
oh,
Well,
I took it in like that. Imu was part of Joy Boy's crew, and then betrayed Joy
yeah.
Boy. That's how I took it.
I guess that makes sense. I'm talking about in context of what they're saying now, because I didn't think about it until you guys brought it up just now. But he's saying, Imu's saying you're so determined to believe, and then Gaban is saying like you aren't. In relation to what they were saying before this, right? Was that Luffy's the one that they believe in, that they've been waiting for. So if we're following the dots like that, is that not Imu saying that deep down he's waiting for Joy Boy or believes in Luffy or something like that to that extent?
I actually again okay, now, great, because there was part two and it was
Okay,
this
I'm
because
sorry. Okay, I jumped ahead. I'm
no
sorry.
worries, no worries. I'm glad you brought it up. It was a great segue because that is a more of like what the official has to say, right? I feel like the TCB is kind of similar, but like it's hard. It's like not this exact same read,
Right.
but that's the thing is that like you actually now that I think about it, if you read it that way, it's also pretty cut and dry. He's kind of just saying the same thing like about what he said earlier. Like you want to kill him so bad, like clearly you're the one who believed that he's Joy Boy, right? But
Yeah.
I saw a tweet from Sandman the Goat, and he's like reading the Japanese version of this page. It's as if Gaban is kind of reading Imu's soul, like deep down you want Joy Boy to come back too, just like how he
Okay.
smiled when he saw that Nidhogg was back.
Yeah.
I think that makes the most sense because that's like the most clear read.
That is
Yeah.
very fucking interesting. Can't lie. The Imu
Yeah.
puzzle gets deeper and deeper. Because he makes a
I can't
reaction
wait.
even after he says like you aren't ready to believe. Like he does the little, you see it. Well, I
Looking
mean,
at it, like
he gets a
glaring
panel.
at him.
Yeah, he gets a panel where we see his
Yeah.
through all the cuts and shit. Staring.
Yeah.
Definitely something to think about. Imu becomes more one more complex character than we've barely even scratched the surface.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm loving him more and more, bro.
That's what I really wanted out of this fight too. Like Gaban is someone who knows the truth of the world, and this is the first person in Imu's life since the voice entry probably that knows everything that he's
right.
encountered.
Right.
So this kind of like him pressing him, like him like bringing up the past, bringing up what like I know we needed more. I knew we were gonna get that. I need more for sure. And you know what, man? It's crazy about Imu, and I'm not surprised Oda's doing this because obviously Imu's right in front of us. But we've actually gotten a lot of Imu Joy Boy stuff, in his fights with Loki. In that one chapter with Luffy that started with that phone call of theirs. It like, are we gonna get Imu Joy Boy flashback? Some of it soon. Are we gonna see Joy Boy's real likeness?
Yo,
in
if
this
we
arc?
get
I
the
wonder?
Imu Joy Boy flashback, then One Piece is ending in the next 3-4 years.
Yeah, that's a scary
Like
part.
that's literally that's a big sign that we're almost done. That would be absolutely fucking insane. But honestly, we've gotten so fucking much this arc in total. I can't even say I'd be surprised if it ended up going into a fucking voice entry flashback.
And maybe not everything too, right? I feel like just part one of it or whatever, like
Right.
something, like if we see in Imu's head how Joy Boy looks, that's all I fucking need, honestly.
I can't lie. Where do you guys? I know it's early, but where you guys rating Elbaph right now? Do you guys got it in the top arc, or you guys need more time?
It's pretty high, I think.
It's definitely up there.
I have this shit very high up
Like,
there, and
bro,
it's not
because
even over yet.
the flashbacks, just this fight alone, like the reveals, like it's been
This shit
everything
has
and more,
been.
honestly.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if this is a hot take or not, man. I might have it over Wano already, man. I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
Well, I don't think it's a hot take, respectfully. Wano is
Okay.
hot and cold to arc.
Okay.
Yeah.
People will definitely be mixed about.
This should have been fire from start to finish. I'm not gonna lie. I feel
100%.
like
I can't lie.
Right.
From like 7 chapters in, when Robin reunited with Soul, I was like, yo, this is about to be the greatest arc of all.
Yeah, we're in for something special. And I was gonna
Yeah.
say too, I know Mon has something to say. I was gonna say that like all Oda has to do for a banger arc, just focus on the fucking Straw Hats, please, bro. 1 or 2 sick characters, aka Loki, Rock's Herald, and then just focus on the Straw Hats, please, bro. And it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
But truth be told, we haven't really got that much focus on the Straw Hats this arc.
Maybe not like
Well,
like
Brooke,
it's been a lot of Loki
Brooke.
for sure and Shanks, but yeah, like a Brook flashback, some Robin, Zoro, Sanji, Conqueror characterization, Luffy
Yeah, you're
growth. Like I
right.
just think it's been spread out a little bit, and obviously Robin, like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Robin also fought fucking Summers, right, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that
So yeah,
was
I mean,
cold. What that was a
yeah,
cold
pulled
fight.
up. She did the fucking jump off the bridge, like just like a 007 agent. Ah, that shit's so
Yeah.
tough, bro. But yeah, that's what I mean. Just focus. But again, and in addition to that, goated flashback, one of the craziest flashbacks of all time.
Or none.
Loki, Harold, Rock, some of the sickest characters we've seen. And again, man, think of Harold, right? I was hating on that guy, but now you go through the whole flashback, you understand him. He's definitely a great character as a whole, even if I found him annoying at first.
Yeah.
Like,
You can
Elbaph
empathize.
is looking special.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. I think I got it in my top 3.
fucking
And I
It could
think,
end this for
Insane.
sure.
and I ain't gonna
It could end
lie,
this for sure.
unless,
Shanks' twin brother reveal too.
Oh my goodness, bro.
bro, it was so much. There was just so much, bro.
We're looking at Imu right now, bro.
Looking
Like,
at Emu, bro. Rocks, man. Bro, unless
yeah,
Oda,
Rock's alone, bro.
unless Oda, by some miracle, completely butchers the end of this arc, it's probably gonna end up in the number 1. I can't even lie. This has just been amazing.
I think it makes
start to finish.
sense.
even without an Usopp moment.
I gave up on the Usopp moment long ago. That's not even in my mind right now. I can't lie. Like, I'm not even adding that into my calculations. Like if we get it, then it's guaranteed top 1. But I'm not even stressing about that.
I hope we find something to give to Usopp. I hope, but I don't know if I'm not holding out hope, but that would be cool. But yeah, even aside from that, like it's been an amazing arc, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly, though, for me, it's kind of hinging on that still a little bit because I can't get out of my mind that this was supposed to be Usopp's central arc and themes and stuff. Because you can't ignore the build up. You know what I mean? You can't ignore the
100%.
intent, the writer's intent in terms of like all the foreshadowing, all the exposition we got from like between Little Garden, Ennie's Lobby, and so many other different things that points to this being the time for Usopp to shine in some shape or form. I can't get that out of my mind, so that will go into my final tally, depending on how Oda sticks the landing for Usopp.
Yeah,
Even just like even on Egghead when he showed up, he cried when the Giants showed up. He said like Masters, right? Like I can't believe you guys are here.
Yeah,
and he cried when they got to the village. Like
yeah.
It's right in front of us, and I just hope Oda has something in store.
I will
Yeah,
say,
honestly, realistically, I do agree with you, Maud. Realistically, everything you said is 100%. Actually, we've been waiting for this for a long time, and if it doesn't pull through, it's definitely gonna be a letdown.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's going to go into the final tally. It won't make it the worst thing ever, of course, but
no, but it'll be held against it. No,
yeah,
but-
it will be an asterisk.
Have faith in Oda. Have faith in Oda. Have faith in Oda. That's my final feeling on that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna. I think it's happened. I think it will happen, but even like Chopper being able to slap demons. You know what I mean? Like that's a huge thing. Nami was showing off some new moves at the beginning of the arc, and showing some new power set with Zeus and stuff. Like everyone, like Frankie gonna upgrade from Vegapunk, which we thought he was gonna get last arc, but he got it this arc instead, right? So
yeah,
I can't lie. I wouldn't equate every minor Straw Hat move to being impactful in the arc necessarily.
I'm just saying. I was just saying that they had moments. That's all.
Yeah.
Like even small moments,
Yeah. I feel like they have moments every arc though, but like people have still been complaining that the arcs haven't been Straw Hat focused. Like every arc, the Straw Hats have had 1 or 2 things each that they've done, except for like Usopp, for whatever reason.
I mean, yeah, it seems like the small shots are gonna get shafted a little bit, no matter what, especially when it comes to fights.
But I do agree that there's been a lot more in this arc spread out between the Straw Hats. They've all done a lot more individually, or each of them has done a lot more than in the past. We've seen a little bit more. I definitely do see it.
Yeah, and like if we already have such high like feelings on Elbaph, like I just no there's no point in thinking it's gonna, decline, right? If he was already on this high note, he's only going, it's only getting crazier and crazier. Especially this chapter, last chapter was amazing. This chapter was out of this world, and it's only gonna get crazier. Like, is the crazy part, like,
Yeah, that's true.
like it's only gonna reach a crazier climax. Like, crazier things are gonna happen. So I couldn't be more excited, man.
Man, what tops Emu, the king of the world here?
Well,
you know what I mean?
No, true, but I mean, like, there's
Not saying it
gonna be
can't
some sort of
happen,
dramatic,
Yeah, like it's just
conclusion or whatever.
it's such a high, you know what I mean? Like Elbaph is definitely a great arc. It's definitely going to be considered a great arc one way or the other. I
agree.
I just
This chapter also.
Oh,
Sorry, I keep cutting you off, man. My bad.
Oh no, you're all good.
That was rough.
I really need something to validate Usopp because he's the only Straw Hat that did that. We all named different Straw Hats that showed something. I just need something from Usopp, please. Like,
no, I believe it's almost like he's holding out on him on purpose. Like, it definitely something is coming for him. But this chapter is the first one that made me think, like, I think this arc this conflict is coming to an end. Like, we're like closer to the end than I think we realize. Like, I think there might be, like, just fighting alone, bro. There might be like 7 or 8 chapters left.
Oh, for the arc as a whole?
Might be that.
No, for the fight.
Fighting.
The fighting.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I think that. Well, you're talking about for this fight specifically, or everybody's fights in general?
No, all the fights. I feel like Zoro and Sanji clean up in 2 or 3.
Yeah, no, you're right. I was thinking about it. They definitely take 2 chapters max to clean up each.
They're probably gonna have them do it around the same time.
Yeah, so, like I could see that all ending in like 3-4 chapters. Come back here.
Yeah, and then Luffy gets like a 3 to 5 piece, maybe 6, because there are the time limit to contend with, right? Do you guys think Loki's getting back in this fight as don't tell me your name, don't tell me your name, don't tell me your name. Oh my god, I'm not gonna get it. Gerd. As she's doing his thank you, is doing his injuries, she's kind of fixing him up. You guys think Loki gets back in this at all, or?
Yeah.
I think it's possible that him and Luffy will get a final combo attack off.
That would be sick. That would be a great way to have an ending to the arc that doesn't feel too crazy, like Luffy beating Imu by himself. Like, that would be like a cool, like, they force them off together,
Yeah.
That would be really cool. I will say for Usopp, I don't know. I think the last 2 chapters they've been hinting at definitely his observation haki is increasing because he's like watching this right now, like what's going on in that fight. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like he's like subtly getting an upgrade, which finally. But I know it's not what we wanted, but I do think it's definitely a little something, which is nice.
It's a sign. It's a sign that he's like, he's thinking about what Usopp is or whatever, and hopefully there's more coming. Hopefully.
And then also there's also the fact that Luffy got another person from Roger's Pirates to get their arm taken off. So
yeah, he's 2 for 2 right now.
2 for 2, baby. Rayleigh, watch out. Rayleigh, watch out.
Yeah, amazing chapter. 10 out of 10 chapter. I genuinely might be one of the best chapters of Elbaph, which is saying something.
Oh yeah,
it's saying a lot.
I don't even think it's that close, honestly. Like, it's like this and the Harley.
Bro,
and obviously the flashbacks.
I was about to say the flashbacks, but yeah,
the flashbacks. Yeah, I forgot about that boy Rocks.
Yeah, There's some contenders for the best chapter of the arc. I'm sorry, Mister. Go ahead.
No, I said I definitely want to get the volume when this drops.
Oh, without a doubt.
Like, that shit's gonna be fire.
Yeah, definitely. Amazing fucking chapter. Are we on break next week?
Yeah, there's no chapter this coming week, which is cool. I mean, you're not here, so.
Yeah. So it is what it is.
Oda knows.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not here the week after though. Rip. So we'll figure it out.
Well, you'll figure it out. Yeah. All right. Was there any last questions, comments, concerns? You better think hard. Don't end the stream and then an hour later be like, shit, I should have said this. Fuck.
I got just like a fun question, a fun little spicy question for y'all.
Okay, go for it.
Spicy.
With what y'all seen from this chapter, who in your genuine heart of hearts, who's winning the confrontation back in the castle when it came to just Gaban and Luffy?
Can they defend against this attack though?
Yeah, no.
I don't think so.
So you're saying if Gaban had intent to kill like he did with Imu, That's hard, man. That's actually so hard. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I think Gaban might got it. I can't lie. I think Gaban
No, I
definitely
think
might got it.
I think Gaban got it, bro.
He would cut Luffy in half, bro.
So
Yeah.
there's another tweet I just saw on Twitter about the 80 to 8,000 attack or whatever. Is that the 80 is 1% of 8,000. So they're hinting that attack that he did it to Luffy and Zoro was like 1% of his power, and now we get to see his full power going against.
When you brought up the 8,000 earlier in this arc and how it like related to that scene, it made me think of the line that Shaki, which is it's just kind of, my brain is kind of malfunctioning because I'm thinking of Sabaody, and then now I'm thinking of like the flashback we just saw in this arc. It's kind of just crazy how it kind of warped my, like how crazy that flashback was, warped our image of the whole series. But Shaki in Fishman Island tells Luffy like Kizaru and them, or Rayleigh's 100 times stronger than you, right? And then Luffy puts that line back at Kizaru and Egghead. It just reminds me like there's still levels to this shit, right? And because it's like, you know, 1 to 100, 8 to 8,000, or whatever it is, 80 to 8,000. You know, like it just reminded me of that as well. Like there's still levels to this shit, and you got to get better.
Yeah.
There's that, and then also what Gaban was saying about like, yeah, you're Yonko now, but now that you're Yonko, that's not the highest motherfucker. Like there's higher fish that could come after you now. So like you said, it just adds more that there's layers to all of it. Like,
You know,
just what you said, Oda UOD.
I just love that Gaban is like not like Rayleigh. He's not babying him. He's like giving it to him straight. You know.
Yeah. They were like, he gives it to him straight. Same thing with Zoro, and then Sanji, he was a little bit kinder too. Like, you know, like, hey, you know, you have potential, but you know, you gotta fix yourself up real first before you get there. But, you know, but yeah.
Oh man, like when we get to our top 30, man, old man upscale. Let's go.
Some people are losing some spots, bro. Some of them Yonko,
But
bro.
I need Rayleigh to show out at some point.
Yo,
like
Rayleigh's done, bro.
Yeah.
Yo,
please.
We're not seeing that nigga again the rest of the story. I ain't gonna lie.
Please, bro. Nah, dude. There's no way.
I mean, no.
We got Gaban as the representation. If no way we're gonna put Gaban like way higher than Rayleigh. There ain't no way. It's just no way that's happening.
And I do think I talking to my boy about this. I just think like as much as I, you know, my knee jerk reaction is like, yo, is Gaban stronger than Rayleigh? Rayleigh, fuck, he's already to a tie. You know, like I just think like it's the you know, final saga, what he can show. You know what I mean? He can't show all that pre-time skip. You know, I'm not gonna discredit Rayleigh for a pre-time skip feat. You know.
Right, yeah, because I mean, we didn't see what Rayleigh did. We didn't even see Conquer Saki, you know.
Yeah,
we saw that he was admitted that against Blackbeard, and we know maybe it was that shit with Blackbeard. Like
he was being humble,
we know that wasn't just.
It wasn't a disadvantageous situation though. Like it was just like a lose-lose, like, you know, like not a good situation. I wonder if they were one-on-one, it would be different, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Blackbeard's still scary.
Yeah, this chapter changes that for sure. Yeah.
Bro, all I know is that Gaban in our fighting game is gonna be so fire.
That's gonna be fire DLC.
Oh my goodness.
Gonna be fire
yes,
DLC,
dude.
sure.
Bro, him, Imu, oh my god. Like.
So, like, you guys think Imu took damage from that? I'm just like, now that I'm looking at this page, like,
I'm hoping,
he
bro. I'm hoping. I don't know.
I think that whenever we see him next, he's gonna be huffing and puffing at the very least.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Something might be sliced up, or some scratches at least.
I mean, I don't know. It feels like he blocked the attack pretty well.
He definitely blocked the attack, and then just fell.
Yeah, but
he's bleeding from his head there, which is, you know, probably some of the most damage that's been done this whole arc to him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I definitely think it takes a toll on him. I don't know if it'll be necessarily injuries or if it'll time limit goes. Definitely do some sort of toll on him.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Wrap it up.
That might be it, bro.
I think it's Tokon time, bro.
Yeah, nah, it is.
Real.
Oh, man. All right, guys. We appreciate everybody hanging out with us today. Major shout outs to everybody that watched these episodes live. Hung out with us in chat. If you're not watching us live, you need to be watching us live every Sunday, 12 p.m. Twitch.tv/Cali_Mac or YouTube at Straw Hat Sit Down. All right. Big shout outs to everybody that listens, watches after the fact on YouTube, Spotify Pod, and Apple Pod. We appreciate you guys as well. Make sure you guys follow us on all our socials at Strat Sit Down on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. If you look for us, you will find us. We are on break next week, so we will be taking a break from the pod next week. Should be back the following week, next chapter, because we need to know what the fuck happens after this. Crazy right now. We will be waiting. We will be waiting, absolutely. But I think that's about it for us. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. And until next time, take it easy, be safe, be healthy. We appreciate you guys, and we will see y'all when we see y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Who gon' get down? We are. This that straw hat, sit down. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that straw hat, sit down. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Straw hat, sit down, crew in the building. We Corona to these other podcasts. We gon' put these people in their feelings when they hear this, and they know that they can't top this. We spit facts and we poppin'. Every time an episode is dropping, we see D3 in the corner. Mister, that's a real G with the green screen in the background. Got him looking like he in a real scene. We got Big Mod in the cut. Always ready with rebuttals, but he bring the knowledge when we in the huddle, so you know the crew is never gonna fumble. And it's wise, last but not least. If you ask me, then Cali, mad the captain, make him rally around me. Every Sunday we gon' run deep, and we can't stop until we find out about that one piece. Who gon' get down? We are. This that straw hat, sit down. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that straw hat, sit down. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We